Hey, what's up guys? Garrett here. Welcome back. It's been a pretty long time since I've made videos. I don't know, I kind of miss it. I wanted to get back into it, and so I thought I had a cool idea. We're going to try and use AI, specifically GitHub's Copilot, to create a blog for me. So the way that this is going to work is we're going to use GitHub AI, or GitHub Copilot like I mentioned. I set up some boilerplate already, so we're going to kind of skip the part where I create a Next.js app and set up this thing called SST, which we can talk about at a later time. And I also set up like a connection to the database and stuff like that. But what we're going to do now is the goal is going to be to have a decent looking blog that is able to query a MongoDB server or a database, and we're going to bring back our posts and display them in a way that hopefully looks somewhat presentable. So yeah, I've never done this before. I think it'll be actually pretty fun. I also think it'll be relatively straightforward. But let's see what we have here. So let's see what we have inside of our database here. So this is MongoDB, Atlas. I don't think anything on here is something that I shouldn't be showing you, but I'll nevertheless zoom in. I created a database called blogs or blog, and then we have a collection called posts. And in that collection, I have a single post, first post title, content is first post content. So nothing too crazy. So let's now get into it. I've also cleared away the standard stuff that Next.js comes with. So we basically just have this thing that says start now. So no problem. Let's go ahead over here. And the first thing that I think we want to do is try and create an interface. We might have some code duplication here. I'm not really worried about like the greatest looking code here. Kind of just curious to see what it could do. So let's see. Let's generate using Copilot, and we'll say create a TypeScript interface for a blog post. Spelled that wrong. Let's see what that does. Yeah, that works. Let's accept that. All right, now let's do something else. Nothing's going to change over there. So what we want to do now is use a server action to go and fetch our database. Go and fetch, yeah, the stuff from our database. So how would we do that? There's this concept called prompt engineering. Maybe you've heard of it. I know it exists. I don't really know anything about it. I just write out all my code normally, so I don't really know like the best or the worst way to go and create a prompt for AI to kind of give you something from. So kind of a learning experience for me. So let's see what happens here. Create an async. Actually, let's see if we leave out the word async and we say that this is going to go and query a blog or yeah, database. I wonder if it'll put async in there. Let's see. So it creates a client for us. Now we are using Mongoose, but I'm impressed by this. Like this is actually pretty good. We don't need this here down there, but and it did. It added async. So that's cool. It didn't give us try catch though. So that I guess is not entirely what we wanted. But that, yeah, I mean like that, it also didn't export it. So we can add export there. So that's pretty good. And I actually created a model here for it. So for my post, and we can, we'll come back to that later to add the author and the date. But I had kind of done that. So I guess, I wonder, let's see what would happen if I said, did it just overwrite my function? Oh wow, this worked. Okay, so I still want my get MongoDB. And I don't need this model. Ooh. I don't need this model because I created my own, which I called post model. And I'm pretty sure we don't need exec there because we have the await, but whatever. Let's see what happens. This is kind of interesting. All right, let's generate now with, to create our component, right? Our React component. So what we want to do is we want to create React state for blog posts. Let's see how that works. Oh yeah, that actually worked. And, oh man. And, okay, so here's something to note. In this case, it knows to use blog post. However, it did not import use state. So that's interesting. All right, no problem. No problem, guys. This is pretty cool. This is actually like, I've never used this before. This is actually working a lot better than I thought. Okay, that's awesome. We want to use effect, but how should I write this? So what do we want to do? We want to use effect. Um, let's see how that goes. It gave us an import. Oh wow, did a lot more than I thought it was going to do. We only actually wanted this bit here. So that's a considerable amount more. I'm going to accept this and we'll just clean this up. That's actually like good. All right, now what we want to do is, whoops, not that. Now what we're going to do is do this again, and we'll say, yeah, wow, well, yeah, that's correct. Looks pretty good to me. I guess it also gave us like the return part. Guys, this is like, I've never used this before. I mean, I know that, AI is like good and all that stuff. Like I've seen other videos and stuff, but I've never used it myself. And I'm genuinely quite impressed. And if we go here, we've got an error. That's awesome. All right, so a little bit that we ended up having to do here, clean up a little bit. I didn't realize it, but there was some extra stuff over there that was wrong. What we need to do now, and also put that here, what we need to do now is we want to go through these. We want to say let posts, actually, wait, hold on. I'm so used to doing it myself. Let's have Copilot do it, obviously. Whoa, it worked. Okay, it looks terrible, obviously. Not the greatest looking thing in the world, but it works. And I wrote most of the, like, I don't know, what was that, 80, 90% of the code? 80% of the code? Well, yeah, whatever. 80, 90% of the code we wrote through using Copilot. Like, I don't know how long that would have taken me, probably not that long to do that myself. But in terms of writing out each of those individual functions, it certainly was faster, obviously. Um, So we said that we wanted to make it look decent. We did also mention that. So this is a Next.js app, which means that it has Tailwind already kind of built into it. So I don't know what that's going to end up looking like, but let's find out. That's it? That's terrible. Is that right? Did that change at all? Yeah, I don't think it changed at all. Okay, so I figured out the problem. Essentially, I think that like a new version, when I created this project using, the create functionality for Next.js, it was a different version of it. That version is apparently having some issues. So went back to an old project old being like a week ago, old project that I have, and that one does not have any issues. Went to those versions, followed that configuration, and now, lo and behold, without any further ado, we have the beautiful kind of beautiful blog that we were able to make here. Okay, it's not the greatest looking in the world. That is for sure, but it is a blog. It does work if we put stuff in our database. If we put another one here, and let's say that we call this title second blog post about how easy, well, about, what should this be called? About using GitHub Copilot. Okay. Create another field, call this content. It was so easy a caveman don't know how to spell caveman. How do you spell caveman? Oh, it is one word. A caveman could do it. Does anyone remember those Geico commercials? So easy a caveman could do it. Could do it. I don't know. Oh, you know what? I have to add author and date. Even though there's really no date, but Garrett Love. That's me. And date. I don't know. I have to figure out how this actually works, but anyway, if we come back here and we refresh this, oh, that's ugly. It goes that way. I didn't expect that. Okay. It goes horizontally instead of vertically. Maybe I'll do one on like yeah, like maybe this could be a whole series. I mean, it's kind of fun. It could be like a series like, can GitHub Copilot style my blog? And hopefully it comes out better looking than this. Or can GitHub Copilot add blogging or like a comment functionality to my blog? I don't know. Anyway, if you wanted to deploy this, all you'd have to do is, if you were using SST, is just do SST deploy, provided that your environment is configured with an AWS account. I don't know. This was it. I thought it was fun. I've never used GitHub Copilot before, so this was pretty cool. If you like content like this is my first video back, so definitely a little rusty if I'm being honest. But I think we're going to start doing a lot of cool things like this. So I'm really excited. Actually, I'm really excited. And yeah, so subscribe, hit the bell button. I think you got to do. That's something that I didn't really have to ask about last time I was making videos a few years back. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe, like, comment, all that stuff. And I will see you guys in the next one in a few days. Take care. Peace.